Okay, let's go ahead with the stand up. Mark, since you're talking about already stuff that you're doing, do you want to continue and start from beginning? What you're
okay, sure. So I'm continued unexpectedly to be working on the PR to. I thought it was just going to be a rather simple matter of making the the results of Kademlia requests accessible to the artifact managers so that I can write a unit test to verify that I am indeed putting torrents on the distributed hash table. And what I have discovered is that in order to get that to work, the swarm needs to be accessible to the artifact manager. And since the artifact manager is initialized statically, so does the swarm need to be initialized statically. And so I'm having to rearrange some of the initialization for that purpose.
Yeah, okay. My only comment is we should not shy away from refactoring because we made a decision in the past that that's what is needed. Now that we need to make it testable, so we need to come up with a different and spend time on that. Okay, who wants to go next? Elliot, did you say you have to go early?
I don't have to go early, but I can go pretty quick. I'm still in research. I did code reviews. I had a couple of meetings. I have a doctor's appointment this afternoon, and I had some car issues that I dealt with that I don't want to bore everyone with. That's all I've got for today. I will be offline from like 3:30 till I'm not sure when for a doctor's appointment. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I can go. So I have made a lot of progress on getting the different installers created with installing the service under System D. So those are coming along. Right now, I'm just kind of plumbing together the config files so the Synapse and Pyrsia know where each other are. So that's in place. What else was there? That was the main thing as part of, Elliot, I did pick up that Rust strip to add into the build and packaging.
Just the only caveat, Steve, that I want to make sure you're aware of with that is we never did the research to figure out exactly what that is stripping. Like I called out, it's removing 4 meg of something, but I don't know what.
Yeah, it actually applies. When I was looking at it, it applies to a linker flag that gets enabled. I'll have to hunt down the exact flag, but it actually is just passing along another flag to the linker, and the linker's doing something at that level.
Well, it sounds like you should maybe move that story to yourself and move it to in progress. Sounds good, man. Cool.
Yeah, and I'll document what the flag is at the linker level.
No, I'm sold. Yeah, sounds awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to call that out because I wanted to make sure that you were aware. Thanks, dude.
Yep, thanks. That's it for me.
Okay. Johan, you want to go next?
Yeah, I don't have much to say for myself. I didn't do much on Pyrsia. I did some work while running some of the experiments with the peer-to-peer. And then I also got annoyed by the long compilation time. So I didn't really look into why the size is big, but why the compilation time took a while. But I might spend a few hours more in that because I saw that some crates, and might be relevant for Steve, have some additional properties that you can use to specify an optimization level, which may speed up compilation time. So if we can decide not to optimize during development, that may speed up compilation time.
I think you'll find though that we've got those all called out in the cargo toml already.
Yeah, and that's where they go. All those optimizations turning on and off seem to be in the cargo toml.
But is that done for transitive dependencies?
Yeah, when you build the tree, it builds everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I saw that there were some specific properties of specific crates, but okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah, because right now we're we're compiling all the dependencies and we're not bringing in a pre-compiled dependency. That's just the way this cargo seems to work. So
Okay.
I think the flags in our cargo will trickle down throughout everything.
Then it's still strange why it's so slow. But anyway, so
Rust is
Yuri,
garbage. Rust is garbage.
Well, I don't know if you've, I've been looking at the builds and our cache is 1.6 gig.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
also call out like to
We don't-
that it's
don't
a
have to
fair
fix it.
point.
We don't
There's
have
a
to fix it right now. So can we?
no,
move
yeah,
on?
we can't. So,
Yeah, I just wanted to call out that it is a fair point that there may be features that we have enabled in our transitive dependencies that we don't need. Like that's fair.
okay, so I think conclusion, there's a room for optimization, room for a better language, but anyway. So what Yuri worked on the end-to-end integration test, automating it.
Nice.
And Erwin worked mainly with Chris Kroon on discussions about Docker push. He tries to bring that discussion more into the Slack on the issues. It's an ongoing effort, and it turns out to be that it's not going to be easy. So we probably need when Erwin and Chris have some better understanding, we probably need a separate discussion about it.
We should have a small discussion. Yeah. Okay. Do you think we can have that in a week or two, Johan? Meaning the kind of a place where we can have a discussion, not the decision, but kind of a place where we can have a discussion. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I think so. I do understood that Chris Kroon was pretty occupied these days. So it's I think it depends on his timeline, but I think in a week or max 2 weeks it should be possible to have it. Yes.
Yeah. No, I understand. He's volunteering time versus us who are all committed to this, right? So we have to wait on his time. Okay.
Yeah, he's extremely helpful, but Erwin also wants to assist him in putting his comments in public so that it doesn't go through 3 different stations.
Yeah. Hey, Baruch, I know you have been making changes. Do you have an update?
No, not yet. I've been dealing with Swamp Up and stuff.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe do you know any progress was made on website design? I didn't check.
Not that I know about.
Okay.
I think Netzach, our studio manager, he had some death in the family, so he's not available for I think this week or something.
Okay.
I can actually comment on the website. So I was at the last marketing meeting, and it, like Brock mentioned, with the death in the family, he's unavailable for this week and probably next week as well. So we're going to be working on the content, and it's actually one of the tasks that I picked up. So I'm working on website contents, and that's my side project.
Yeah, no, but I mean, the design probably won't go anywhere anytime, not immediate.
Okay, no, that's good to know. I mean,
the tentative timeline was in a month from now. So
yeah, that pretty much sounds like doable.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the update. Yes, as time and again, we become aware that life is still going on, right? And everybody has things going on in their life, so we have to just be patient. Chris, or did you want to give more update on the blockchain work?
Yes. Before I do that, though, I don't look at the project board very often. I noticed there's a bunch of closed pull requests in progress. There's a merged one in review. There's in review with triage labels, in progress with triage labels. It'd be nice if you guys could go and update your issues, just since they're all in front of us. But more importantly,
question on that: does a PR being approved not move it to done automatically? It doesn't, right? There's no automation.
It is, but somebody clicked something extra that broke the automation, did something incorrectly. So that's the only.
Okay, go ahead.
What are we supposed to, when we create a subtask for something, as I did, and that gets stuck with a triage label. Are we supposed to take the triage label off, even though because it reflects something that's already been discussed? So do we leave the triage label on or off?
If we've talked about it, you can remove it.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, in that case, if the automation breaks, then I think it's upon the committer to move it because the automation doesn't understand like, oh, the new issue was created and all of that. Okay, go ahead, Chris. You're going to say more.
So Christian, Shufe, and I have spent the last 2 days talking in meetings, trying to figure out post-op from the hackathon. How do we save our work and capture that in some meaningful way?
Yeah.
So this is a little bit of a parking lot. So I don't want to go too much into detail until everybody else had the chance to go. But we have more or less a game plan of attack for how we want to start incorporating the blockchain network development into the Pyrsia project. And yeah.
Okay, good. Mithali?
Yep. So yesterday I didn't work on Pyrsia since I was working on workshop that I have next week, and I have done a lot of work on that. The day before yesterday, I was working on adding some of the test cases for Manifest because I already had a PR which had since Manifest module and BLOS module didn't have any of the test cases. So I created another PR rather than having it the same so that it doesn't get too long. And also I again see a problem in the PR review process that people come and put comments and then go and then don't come back, and then it's just that not getting reviewed. And again, my PR is blocked for another PR. So and then I have a third PR coming in, which is for Kademlia to put the package version. So it's blocking me actually. It's coming a chain. So I just want to say that until or unless you see there is any functional thing which is stopping the PR not to be approved, I think if you review it and if you see it's addressed, just come back again next day and don't come back like until next week and then we are waiting on that PR.
Yeah. Okay, I can go next. I still try to learn more Rust because I'm trying to write some tests. And this morning I was able to put some comments on Mithali, your PR, see if they make sense, and if you want to discuss, we can talk and see if there are additional issues to be created because some of the things that I commented on were there before even you created the PR. So maybe some things we can work on fixing. Yeah. And thank you for creating all these test cases tickets. What I do see in the code as I'm navigating is that we have done a fair job in trying to do coverage, but the tests are not explaining what is happening in the system, at least for somebody like me who's coming new. So I think we should also make sure that as we write tests, we cover that the system should help people add code rather than them spending like 4 days just understand what is going on. And I'll continue to find spots that I can actually write tests and then go from there and slowly change things or change things in a direction that explain to me and see if that works for other people. Okay, Chris, you had a parking lot.
Yes. So the question that Christian Shufe and I were trying to answer is how do we work on the development of the blockchain, which is an MVP requirement, not a demo requirement. And we take time to look at the code in the Pyrsia node, in Shufe's code, in my code, and we realized that there's quite a big challenge point, which is the libp2p networking, since we're all critically entwined and dependent on it. So we want to minimize the risk of our work impacting the demo because we want the demo to be stable. But at the same time, we still need to have some coherence and consistency with the Pyrsia project. So our game plan as of this morning is we're going to create a new crate inside of the Pyrsia repo. So it's all going to be under the same repository, but it's going to be a new crate. And this is going to have a library that's going to be the blockchain network. And in there, we're going to create ourselves an executable that we can use to run our blockchain network. So we can create our own nodes loosely, not actually the Pyrsia node, but our own instance that can talk on the network and do the blockchain and the consensus and push data on the network. Beyond that, we were talking this morning at length about some API definition designs that were going to help clarify some of our direction of work. And the game plan is to take Shufei's hackathon demo and start from there, and then add my work of doing the consensus on top of it, and we'll see what happens after that. The other organizational thing is that we want to easily be able to find what we're working on, since there's a pretty big group of us. So we'd like to make a label.
And can we go back to the first one? I want to make a comment. So where you mentioned the crate and the blockchain network thing, I do see that there is a blockchain.rs. How is that going to affect or work with the new plan that you have? Have you thought about that? Or
already been checked in, it's just going to get moved.
Okay.
Should be.
Yeah. And then when you do that, can I ask you to do a draft PR so that we can actually first get familiar with, because you're explaining this in words and it is very abstract for me. I would like to see it before that becomes a real PR.
So I'm not actually going to add any real code, at least not in the next day or two. So I'm just going to create a new Rust crate that's going to have a main that's going to do return 0, and that's it. And if you'd like, I can move some extra files, but I wasn't planning on doing that, at least in the short term.
So
I'm not sure what you don't understand.
I don't understand.
But if you'd like, we can talk. After.
Yeah. Meaning how do I see your work in progress things and comment on it if I want?
So we're going to do everything inside of the Pyrsia project. Like we're going to do everything inside of the Pyrsia project. So it's going to look like anything we've already been doing. It's just we're going to give ourselves a level of separation so that we don't impact the demo, right?
Yeah,
so
and when you do that,
project.
My ask is, when you do that, can you create a draft PR first so that you can show us that there is this crate created, here is the new code that was added, before you make it a real PR and then only two people see it and then it goes in.
Isn't the whole idea of a PR is that it's not committed yet anyways? I mean, we can certainly do that, of course. The simple of it is, Suhendra, is we're just trying to, we need to be able to operate both independently and inclusively, right? We don't want to get out of sync with the rest of the team, but if we stay tightly coupled, we run the risk of breaking things and breaking the demo. So by basically creating an independent isolated app, AKA another crate, that's going to allow us to test and demo independently, but still be part of the main Pyrsia repo and get the kind of exposure we need. And of course, we'll make you part of a draft PR if you want. Once the crate is put in place, then it's just a question of piling code into it.
My worry is that once you create a PR, it will just breeze through and then be part of the bigger system. And we will not, and this for me is a significant change. I mean, you're doing the right thing because you want to be connected but have the loose connection instead of tight connection, and that's what I'm saying, that let's, for this case, since this has been
so let me jump in here real quick. So I think what they're trying to do, let me try to interpret this for you guys, is they're going to, the first step would be create a new PR that's just for the new crate, and they will go ahead and document why they're creating this new crate. Once that shouldn't be a draft PR, that should just get merged so everything in the repo gets, everybody can see the new directory structure on the repo side. Now going forward, they're going to have many PRs just like we normally do, instead of one long big one for every little change that they do on their little world of the blockchain pieces. So that's where we're not going to have this one big long draft PR. We're going to have day-to-day normal PRs that are going to happening, but it's going to be on their code base. That's not going to be affecting the demo piece. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I'm glad somebody can speak better English than both Chris and myself.
Yes.
Thank you,
my worry was that all the code that Shufei showed will show up in one big PR, and then I wouldn't be able to piece it.
No, we've right. Shufei knows he's supposed to merge this in, and I'll let Shufei speak to when Shufei is going to merge it in. But obviously we want to keep the primary app stable, right? But blockchain is so fundamental to what we need to do that as soon as we shoehorn it in, we're all but certain it's just going to break everything. So we need to proceed cautiously, and we also don't want to get out of sync, right, with changes that are going on, because then that can be a merge burden on us later.
So what will happen?
Scarier than it is, Suhindra, but it's not scary.
So what will happen is the first PR that Chris will do will be the small one they create to create. The second and third, maybe the fourth PRs, maybe a little bit bigger because they're going to be basically the initial load of the files that they've been working on. And then after that, we'll go back to smaller PRs. So the second, third, and fourth PRs will have some significant file changes because you're starting from scratch, basically. So and then after that, everything will be normal little itty bitty changes moving forward.
So the idea that I'm proposing, actually, we're already using it. So you had worked on the sign struct tests, if I'm not mistaken, Suhindra? That is
working. I have not committed yet.
Okay, so that is its own independent crate, and it's being included by the Pyrsia library as well as the node. And we're going to be assuming very, very, very similar. So it shouldn't be foreign to what we already have. It's just yet another addition.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? We are 1 minute over. But
oh, I have one other thing. I'm not going to be able to make the outreach meeting tomorrow, Suhindra.
Okay.
So I will update the document, and if you could just run it.
Yeah, thank you. And Baruch, do you have a meeting invite for that? If not, I'll add you to that.
The outreach tomorrow, I think I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure I saw it in the calendar.
Yeah. Then let's the two of us facilitate it. Yeah.
Yes,
Let's the two of us facilitate it, and then you can add more color, obviously. Okay. Okay, no problem, Steve. Thank you for setting these things up so that we can smoothly run them. It was a piece of cake running the architecture meeting last time. Seriously, thank you for the setup.
And I'll do my best to update the document as much as I know what's happening. But Baruch, you may have to, and Suhindra may have to add in, and Chris, since you're doing the website stuff as well, add in a few lines on the fly.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have to run to the next meeting.
All right, we'll see you everybody
Tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye, guys. Talk soon.